Sonic Frontiers still seems to be quite the enigma. No matter how long we wait for news, it never arrives. At this point, I would think it would be fair to summarise we will not be receiving any substantial news on the upcoming mainline title until the release of the Sonic movie sequel. During this lull in information, there have been a couple of talking points that have gained traction in discussions, such as the realism debate that I covered in a prior video. For today's discussion though, we will be taking a look into the concept of appropriate expectations, which is also a topic I've come across often enough. Since there's really no real update on the state of Frontiers, it is only natural that speculation would tend to spiral out of control as fans grow impatient. You could therefore assume that under such conditions, it is reasonably likely that the Sonic community may have overhyped Frontiers. Just because you could assume in theory, however, does not make it accurate to reality. I am genuinely not very fond of using the expectations too high argument as a form of damage control by fans of anything, not just Sonic. It comes off a lot of the time as dishonest, or perhaps more accurately, a misplaced sense of loyalty to a brand or product. Even when not, too often are the most extreme opinions cherry-picked when invoking the term of high expectations. Whilst it obviously is true that sometimes people do have overly exaggerated expectations for something, it would be unfair to act as if parts of those expectations were not founded in patterns and logic. Sometimes when a product fails to meet expectations and thus receives negative feedback from customers, it is a valid repercussion for said product underperforming. For me at least, I believe that when building up your own expectations, it makes sense to weigh your thoughts against the track record of the product or company you are anticipating. If they have a history of impactful releases, that would be a cause for some raised expectations. Likewise, if they tend to perform poorly, you may expect less. However, content and recent trends hold more priority in this. For example, if a product used to be good but began to release over longer periods for worse results, you may also lower expectations considerably unless the upcoming product bucks the trend. Other elements to consider would be things like the funding going into the project, the size of the team working on it, how much time has been contributed towards the product, or at least how much time could have been used for it. One of the most important aspects to consider are the claims and information released by the owners in an official capacity. The reason being that such statements are what the owners want their customer base to know, and are implied to be told in good faith, being somewhat accurate to the truth. If such claims turn out to be false, such as a faked E3 presentation, then that is on the owners, not the consumers, and not as a result of setting expectations too high. So far, what we do know about Sonic Frontiers is that Sega has said it will represent the next big step for the series, being compared to the shift in the series as well as popularity with Sonic Adventure's time. Not only that, but it apparently will be an indicator of Sonic's direction for the next decade. In short, Sega have been bigging up the game, suggesting a lot about it while showing us very little. With that in mind, what are my own expectations for Frontiers? Based on the small amount of gameplay we have seen, it is hard to pinpoint anything major. Due to the claimed ambition of the project though, I do expect that the open world should not be something Sonic can just breeze past without a second thought, which has been a long-standing concern of mine. I'm also expecting the story to actually hold some importance and be consistent, unlike the more recent titles, due to how its mystery has featured prominently in marketing, as well as gaining Ian Flynn from the comics for the writing staff. Leaks and rumours also play a part in this equation as well. Since it is so hard to prove them as accurate, I try to reserve my judgment for such things. They are also often touted as examples of inflated expectations, but in instances such as Frontiers, the developers are partly to blame, due to providing barely any official information, thereby increasing people's receptiveness to rumours. With that said, I am expecting there to be proper Sonic levels to be found in this game, and not just open worlds, whether they take place in cyberspace or otherwise. I would like to say I'm looking for multiple playable characters, adventure gameplay, and Chao Garden, but my bar for expectations has been heavily lowered over the last decade of Sonic, leading me to not believe any of those are likely. In a similar fashion, I have little faith in the technological quality of this game, referring to things like stable frame rate and glitches. Overall, so long as you have looked at the information available to you, especially official sources, to construct your expectations, no one can accuse you of unfairly setting them too high. What equates as too high will be different from person to person anyway. If you are someone who becomes personally offended on Sega's behalf when you hear an expectation you deem too high, then you're too attached to this unreleased and unproven product. Expectation and hopes are two different things. This brings me to the end of the video. Thank you for watching this all the way to the end. I hope you found it insightful. If you would like to see more of my work, try checking out the channel page and browsing through. I hope you have a great day and see you next time. This is the Mighty Emperor, signing off.